devil when they don't give you you ask a question and they leave it open-ended. Hopefully they can change it later. That's how you know a person is arguing with using a very weak technique when he argues with you, when he gives you an open-ended answer.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Fine. But
Esau's a master at doing that. Giving open-ended answers, circumlocution, when the elder brought that out, and convoluting statements. Like they say a whole bunch of shit and you don't know where to exactly target. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? I asked you a simple fucking question. You didn't say yes or no, but you elaborated first, and then at the end you said yes or no, but then I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you just said in the beginning. I'm going to read this definition on hand, too.
Verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month that were brought by bitter constraint, they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices, and when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus and carry ivy.
There you go. Yep. It was all fourth. Shalom. Shoot. Damn, brother, I didn't expect you to be here. Yeah, shalom. Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 8, moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy and against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Right, observe the same fashions. Now remember, we're no longer people. We no longer follow our customs, bro. Customs, right? So we don't do what we're supposed to do, and that's been done by design for so many years, right? So many years they've been putting us down and trying to have us forget our custom. So now we're in that prophecy of lo and me, and we don't know who we are. So we have to be stirred up by the pure minds of way of remembrance. That's why we come out here preaching to the out to the people, and do this week in and week out, right? So we can stir up the elect, man. Go ahead.
And La Ruhama.
That's La Ruhama.
Mercy, because Yahushua is allowing these lies to be perpetuated. So that's still killing us. Every time the Lord Yahushua allows these lies to be perpetuated, meaning that they're the little hats claim to be the biblical Israelites. So as long as they do that, that's like killing us.
Yep.
And that's the Lord not having mercy on us.
There you go.
Well, 1/2. I mean, we know the truth, but the 2/3 they getting slaughtered. But they still have that part in their mind. Oh, they believe they're just Gentiles. All right. And we're still in this kingdom. We're still on a plantation. Now we go to different jobs. That's just a different plantation. That's a little better. And they got it so busy with trying to work. That's all Esau do. Esau get cash flow, right? But we work. We trying to find better jobs so we can work. So we can be drones and shit.
That's that rat race. That rat race. That's something Esau set up, that we have no choice but to just continue to work 9 to 5. Just never get ahead. You make just enough to pay your bills, to have to go back into work to try to work your ass off to pay bills that you didn't get the chance to pay.
Right. And then it says, in the place where it said, "You are not my people," there you should be called the sons of the living God. Even though the Lord didn't have mercy and we're not his people, the Lord adopted us back. So now he is going to have mercy. That's why we got the knowledge, and we're the Lord's people. That we've been adopted.
And the crazy and the thing to note is when you're called something for so long, not a people, for so long, that everyone believes it. Even the people that are a people start to believe that they're not a people. You know how hard it is to then say, "Listen, you are a people." It's difficult, man. The Lord made it. The Lord made it that way, right? So we're
just wearing weeds. She's been wearing weeds.
Oh yeah, yep.
For 40 years.
She thinks it's
hard for her to stop wearing the damn weeds.
Exactly. Yep. There you go. There you have it.
We're talking the black women, obviously. So they got to be weaned off of it with knowledge. They got to keep getting the knowledge thrown in their face, and then they can slowly wean themselves off of it. Or go cold turkey. Shave all the hair off and start over.
Yep. Go ahead.
And remember, our people are of a stiff-necked, stubborn nature.
There it is.
You got to continually tell our people things over and over and over again to break them down. Right? Break them down, build them up. Break them down, build them up.
Yeah.
That's how we learn, through constant repetition.
Right, and the thing is, our people love.
And that's how you change your behavior too, by the way.
Yep.
You don't just do things once. You got to make it a trend. You got to trend it.
Yep.
You got to make these things habits.
Yep. Yeah, our people are lovers of.
We strive and slug it, bro. No, you good.
Go ahead.
That's what it's called, striving for perfection.
Yep.
Because under Yahushua, we got that covering, and as long as we got that mercy extended onto us, then we got that time to make that recovery. Because we are not perfect. Through Yahushua, we're perfect, but we ourselves are corruptible. We're in this flesh. So we got to constantly be making amends, right? Repent, keep ourselves clean.
Right.
It's a process.
Yep.
It's a process. Because there's a lot of angles of the world, a lot of spirits, a lot of things that are attacking us on a daily basis. But yeah, I just wanted to say we learn through repetition.
That's right.
We learn through repetition.
That's it. Go ahead. So like I know a lot of your brothers probably have precepts, but I do want to get to the point. So just keep reading.
I'm gonna bring this out after that.
Go on.
Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
There you go. There you go. Now it doesn't seem it's not that harsh now, but it might as well be, right?
Well,
Kanye West
like that when it gets to the implant.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? So that's the thing. It's about to get to the point where they implement that RFID CHIP.
Can I say something on that?
Go ahead.
Technically, when you take a man's money, you're putting him to death.
Yep.
When you take a man's money, you're putting him to death.
Yep. That's his defense.
Money is a
Say
defense.
it.
That's his defense. Yep.
So press the right before or something
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was about. That's what's up.
So
Yep.
even though it's not immediate,
Yep.
it's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
we're gonna shame you. Now we're gonna take your money. We're gonna ostracize you. All right.
So like what prime example?
Voting team.
Red Fox. That happened to Red Fox.
Right.
They did that to Red Fox.
Yep,
They took the ring off his finger,
Yep. Con. Yeah.
and then he just died from and knowing that's the curse. That's
Yep.
the curse, and that goes right back to Deuteronomy, chapter 28.
That's it.
Did y'all read that already? Or
No. We just
Now,
yeah.
read that again, brother.
Con.
And like the
Second
brother said over here on to the side, that will be fully instituted during the time of the mandation of the implant. So
Yep.
go ahead, read that again.
2 Maccabees 6 verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
Right, because that manner of the Gentiles, in the larger scheme is like the brother said, the RFID CHIP. That's going to be that manners of the Gentiles, because they're going to have that fully implemented, and we know that that's one of the prophecies that we're not supposed to follow. That's one of the ways of the heathen we're not supposed to follow. Go ahead.
Then
But,
Mike,
and if we don't, if we speak up against it or whatnot, they're gonna, and we don't take it, we're not gonna be able to buy or sell. All right, we're not gonna be able to be a functioning individual in society. Okay, go ahead. We're only gonna have this faith in the Spirit, and if the Spirit's dealing with you and working with you, that's the only thing that's gonna allow you to endure. If you don't have that, and you don't have that, and you don't take the CHIP, it's your ass anyways, right? You have to have the Most High, Yakalba Shai, in the Spirit with you during that time. Go ahead.
then might a man have seen the present misery.
Yep.
Verse 10. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children,
Yep.
whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
So this is what happened when Israel tried to follow the commandments, right? They tried to circumcise the children. They were hanged and killed, just like that. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly,
See? Go ahead.
being discovered by Philip, were all burnt together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
There you go. And the thing is it starts with somebody saying, hey, we're the chosen people. Or I can't be anti-Semitic once I know who or I shouldn't say that word. I shouldn't be anti you know what, anti little hat if I know that I'm of that people, right? So when you say things like that, it provokes a little bit of a thought in our people's mind to where they start researching it, and they don't want that. So just like in the time where they didn't want us following our commandments and they killed us for it, that's what they're doing now. The thing is, we're so killed right now. We're so downtrodden that they don't need to openly just kill us for speaking the truth. They just need to make sure that it doesn't get to that point. So they'll push any political power. Like they'll allow us to teach a little bit because we don't have a crazy amount of followers, right? They don't want this reaching out to a massive amount of people. We're already getting shut down any damn way. We've been getting shut down.
Right, well, we are definitely blacklisted.
Yep.
We're definitely blacklisted under certain states. What is it? Each state got their own anti-extremists.
Yep. In black.
Anti-hate groups. Excuse me. Got the
Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah, but each state got their different individual groups by their names, and some GMS brothers are on there
Oh shit. Yep.
by the group,
By the title.
GMS.
Yep.
whatever state.
It's Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
New York.
So if you go to each state's website,
Oh, sorry.
right, Slack, brother. They
list them by.
they list
by,
the different what they deem hate groups.
There you go. There you have it. There you have it.
So,
Go ahead, brother.
Absolutely.
Verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities.
There you go. Don't be discouraged. And like I said, here's my thing for Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. I'm playing, you know, I'm playing the side of the field a little bit towards them. I have my different opinion
You
about
can't
it.
be mad.
Yeah.
You can't be mad. Their job ain't profit.
Exactly. So.
Their job ain't to profit.
Yep. And I get that, but here's my thing, right? This is what you got to understand when you come into this truth. That if even losing a little bit of money or all your money, a lot of money, do not fear that, man. You shouldn't even fear losing your life, because that's what's gonna happen when you really get into this truth, man. Your life is gonna be on the line, and you got to make sure that you don't waver to that. You can't waver to the thought of wavering this truth to the thought that you might be killed. All right, and remember, Scripture says, "Fear not who can kill the body." But rather fear him who can kill both body and soul in hell, which is the Most High. So, you know, realistically, these guys, when they're told to apologize and, you know, they're going to get suspended, they should just say, who cares? My integrity is worth more. And that's what I'm about to get into that we're going to read. But they're not doing that. Even though they ain't speaking the full truth, they should stand by what they believe in, like men of old did. All right?
Get that preset, if thou come to serve the Lord.
There you go. If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Get that.
I'm gonna actually get it, not just.
Yep, get that.
Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 2, and it's like in 1. And it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
There you go. Prepare thy soul for temptation. So you see what's happening to Kyrie and Kanye and all these guys that stand against the the opposition.
That could be as far as coming into wealth, to be persuaded, right? To no longer teach, right down to having things being taken away from you, and see if it'll
persuade you.
Hinder you. All right.
There you have it. Yep.
You finished that verse?
No,
you said it's Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, no, I was just saying Kyrie and Kanye, like, when you see what happens to them, it's almost like a lot of people pointing out like that's, they're back breaking these guys, right? So when you see that, or buck breaking, right? You see that that's happening to them, so it makes a lot of these other guys in a position of power to not speak against it, right? Yeah. To not speak against the opposition. Listen, if you told me to do this, I'm gonna do this. Yes, master, right? That's what they're trying to make sure our people do, right? So once you start being abrasive against, the people in charge and the people in power, they're gonna make you an example, and you got to be okay with that. You got to prepare yourself for that, right? All right. You might lose a lot of things, or you are gonna lose a lot of things when you come into this truth, man.
First, they were just looking for an apology, right? This is how you know they're dragging our people through the mud. First, they just wanted an apology. Then they get the apology, and now the apology ain't good enough. Now they got to meet with the ish leaders.
Yep.
And sit down and have a discussion, kind of like what they did with McKenna. So it's like enough is enough, right?
Yep.
Nigga already paid $500,000. That wasn't enough. Now we need an apology. That's not enough. Now you got to sit down with who we tell you to sit down and have a public discussion.
Yep. Now I got to get suspended for 4 games. Yep.
Now you got to be suspended for, well, that's a vacation for him.
Well, no, he's suspended without pay. And someone else made a good point. These cops do way worse, and they get suspended with pay. Some of them don't even get suspended. They're just able to just do whatever the hell they damn want. Yeah, and you know why? You know why? Because that's all set up by the elites. It's all okay by the elites. So if you go against the elites, they're gonna shut you down. They're gonna blackball you, and they're gonna let you do what you want. All this opposition is controlled opposition by the elites. Any opposition that's outside that controlled zone, they're going to shut it down.
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead, real quick.
This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. Let's let us not forget that we all know that the reason why all this is happening is because this is our captivity. The brother already mentioned it. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all the curses. This is all part of it, man. We're in our captivity, so it's not a strange thing that these things are happening, right? Go ahead.
That's right. Where thou hast scattered us.
Yep.
Well, who's the thou? Yahweh Yahushua scattered us.
Yep.
For a reproach and a curse.
Yep.
And to subject to payment.
There you go. We're subject to payment. Yep. Now, like the brother said earlier, that payment is going to be transitioned to the people who, put us down, right?
Exactly.
So, we have to fulfill this payment by the Most High, right? That was given to us, right? And we're going to fulfill that payment. But that's why we can't be up here trying to establish it, like, because I want to kind of get into, like, not right now, but I do want to get into how, like, they want to say, well, imagine if just Kyrie decided to have his, just start his own NBA, and we got all the guys band together, and they all just say, you know what, F it, let's F the NBA and let's start our own thing. Yeah, they won't do that. Jake has the power to do that, but they won't do that. And even if they did, guess what? It'd get thrown down. You know why? Because it's not of the Most High. It's not of Yahweh Shema Shai, so that shit will get thrown down.
They had to join the camp.
Yep.
They had to join the camp. All right, because they don't got it.
Yep.
They got fragments.
Oh, black. You're talking about black.
They got bits and pieces.
Black Wall Street. Yep.
There's a lot more to it.
Yep.
And we ain't anti-Shem. We anti-Edomite.
Yep.
They got to get the terminology right. You want to be mad at us for something? Be mad at us for something that's genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
We're anti-Edomite, okay? And the earth against you.
That's a bad Hebrew. They Khazar, Yiddish Hebrew. That's Shem or whatever.
Yep.
I want to.
Sorry, no, he didn't. I know you. I still got you there. I just want to let this brother read this out. I know a lot of brothers got precepts, like I said. I want him to, there's a point.
There's a lot here, though.
I know. Let's just keep reading through. Yeah.
There's
so much. I know there's so much being said in here. I'm trying to break it down because it's a lot, but it's conglomerate of everything that's going on right now and today. And there's a point I want to make, but go ahead.
Like Elder Apostle Tahar always says, there's lessons within lessons.
Yeah.
Lessons with lessons.
Lessons within lessons. So it's like an onion. Elder Apostle Aram,
layers,
you gotta peel back those layers. But just real quick, because you mentioned about recompense, right?
Yep.
Right now we paying the bill, but
paying the
eventually this man gonna have to pay it for all the things that he's been a part of and contributed to our downfall, destruction, and current captivity. So this is Jeremiah 49:12. It says, "For thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunk it."
There you go.
The bywords, the slander, right? The continual captivity, not having a voice, being put to shame, not being able to have an opinion.
Profiting off of us.
Right, profiting off
Brothers,
They can put commercials on our videos if they want.
Yep.
They changed the policy a couple months ago, or beginning of the year, so they can put ads and make money. And the channel's not monetized.
Yep.
The channel's not monetized. Esau has the right to put ads in the front of it.
Right. It says, "Behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it."
There you go. That recompense is gonna get put back on your own head, man, and that's gonna be beautiful. But we ain't gonna do it, of our own accord. All right, we're waiting. We're patiently waiting.
We're reading to you the judgment.
Yep.
We're reading it to you.
Fishers first, then hunters, right? Go ahead.
Continuing on.
Yep.
But they judge those punishments not to be for their destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
Yep.
Verse 13, for it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
There you go. Read that again.
Verse
So
13.
that goes, the brother just said there too. Go ahead.
For it is a token of his great goodness
Yep.
when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
But forthwith punished, right? So these wicked doers, all right, and all these people that forced us to, go away from our customs and all that, and our laws, our commandments. There's going to be that recompense bestowed on you is going to be a beautiful thing. Go ahead.
Verse 14, for not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbear to punish till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth with he with us.
Yep, right. The fullness of his sins, like he does with us. Once we fulfill the fulfillment of our sins, man, he punishes us, like what happened with Deuteronomy 28 chapter. We fulfilled, we hit all, we did everything the Lord told us not to do. All right, and then the Lord punished us, and everything that happened in that book, all the curses befell us. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 15, lest that being come to height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us.
Yep.
And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us, and though he punished with adversity, yet does he never forsake his people.
Yep, punished with adversity. We're being punished with adversity right now, but he's not going to forsake us. Go ahead.
Verse 17, but let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us.
Yep.
And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Verse 18.
When does it start getting
Right here,
okay,
right.
good.
Verse 18, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes.
Now here's an example, right? Everything we read earlier, right, it is a prelude to Eleazar and a man that kept his integrity, man. In a time when two women went and circumcised their children.
Which that's a custom.
Yeah, which is a custom, right?
Israelites.
They were put to death, right? Babies were killed. When they were, hiding out in a the rocks real quick to follow the Sabbath, they were sought out and killed, right? During all this time, this man came about. Go ahead.
Verse 18, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance,
Yep.
was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
Yep.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
There you go. Came of his own. He said, "Listen, I will of my own accord came to the torment." He said, "I'm not eating swine's flesh." And pig meat. I mean, a lot of y'all eat it regularly, so I would say it doesn't. It seems like it's not a big deal. Like it's just flesh, right? It's just meat. But it's against our customs, and that's how we got to be about our customs. I mean, there's certain things we can't follow. We do the best of our ability, but we act with integrity, right? Our customs are our customs. We take it very serious. That's what makes us the people, man. Is the customs that the Lord had given unto us, right? So it was told that he has to, eat this swine's flesh, and he didn't do it. He spit it out. But go ahead. There's more to this story. Go ahead.
Verse 20, as it behooved them to come, that they are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted.
Yep.
Verse 21, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance, they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh.
Right. So basically, the people that were up, they knew Eleazar like that, and they said, well, listen, let's take Eleazar in the back, let's talk to him, let's reason with him, right? Are they not trying to reason? Weren't they trying to reason with these guys? Let's take them back. There was that text that went out that kind of is like, he said that text about basically, hey, listen, there's two things that can happen.
Yeah.
We can sedate the shit out of you, and you can go back to doing talking like you should and convincing the people, right?
Back to zombie land.
Yeah, that's that, man. Let's talk. Hey, let's talk with you real quick. Let's talk with you. Go ahead, read it.
Taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision,
Yep.
such as was lawful for him to use, and to make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice.
So here's what they say. Listen. We know you don't eat it. We need to trick the people. So here's what we'll do. We'll give you flesh that you can eat. We'll give you lamb or whatever it was, and we'll let you eat the lamb. It's not swine's flesh. It's not pork, right? But we're gonna tell the people that it is pig. We're gonna tell the people that it is swine, and you're gonna let the people know that listen, you're all for this. But in your mind that it's not swine's flesh, so you should be good, right? Go ahead.
And make it as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
Exactly, right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. Then in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
So there you go. So in that moment, he can choose life in that society because they're giving him an out, right? They're giving him a way out. Listen, all you gotta do is eat the flesh. That's lawful, but we're gonna tell them that it's of this sacrifice, against your commandments, right? But Eleazar was like, I ain't having that. No, I ain't gonna do that. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But he began to consider discreetly, and as he became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years.
Right, so he pondered, he considered it, he thought about it. He said, okay, well, let me think about this, right? Go ahead.
And the honor of his great head, whereon was come in his most honest education from a child,
Yep.
or rather the holy law made and given by the Heavenly Father. Therefore he answered accordingly,
Yep.
and willed them straight.
He thought all that. He thought, listen, I'm of old age, from my youth all the way up. Man, I've been a man of the commandments. I've been a God-fearing man, so to speak, right? I've been following the statutes and commandments. I've been doing the right thing. Why would I just, and now all of a sudden, just to live a little while longer, we're just gonna say, eat, or be basically trick the people, right, into believing that I went away from the Most High. Why would I do that? Go ahead.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave.
Yeah, he said, listen, just kill me. Just kill me. And that's the attitude we have here. It's not the attitude that these guys have. And that's one of the points, we can keep going. It's one of the points I wanted to make. They're quick to kind of like apologize and all that. Like, listen, you got to be ready to lose it all. You got to be ready to lose it all when you come in this thing. Because that's just the way it is, man. All the prophets of old, man, they were beheaded. They were stoned. Why? Because they were going against the grain. They were going against the leaders of that, right? Go ahead.
Yeah,
but there's go ahead.
That's one of the characteristics of the elect. You're going to stand so stiffly
Exactly.
what we believe in, no matter what you put us through.
And there's a reward for that. We know there's a reward for being put to death, you know, in our, you know, how could you say, like, in our integrity, right? If we stay true to Yahweh Shema Shai, there's a reward for that, even on the death. Go ahead.
Verse 24, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10,
Yep, basically 90 years old this man was.
or were now going to a strange religion.
Yeah, so 90 years. He went 90 years and all of a sudden he went to a strange religion. Go ahead.
And so they through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be deceived by me.
Should be deceived by me. They knew who to go after. Let's go after this man. And if we can just get him to you know, trick the people, we can get so many more people to follow us, man. We can get so more people to buy in on this BS.
Right, that's why in these latter days you shouldn't be surprised if they try to approach you.
Yep.
Try to persuade you to be a public figure, to persuade your people out from following the faith, following the truth. Because you got to remember, we're not actually openly inciting a rebellion. But the reality is the words that we speak are life. They're anti-Messiah. They're anti-life. So that's where the problem comes in. Because we're just teaching our people the truth. But in today's day and age, that has become a crime. Telling the truth has become a crime.
I'm sorry, but like Kanye said the same thing. He said they get one to talk about kill him, shoot him,
right.
And then everybody, it triggers everybody to do that.
Yeah, because they're afraid of that awakening. Again, going back to the statement that I made earlier, they're afraid of the awakening of the Israelites. Okay, because they understand that means that salvation, right, is very near. And if salvation is very near, their destruction is very near.
That's right.
And they're trying to prohibit that as much as possible. Defer it as much as possible. Stop it by taking any means necessary. So,
that's right.
You know, the truth is a constant confliction with the beliefs and ideologies that America pushes, okay, here and abroad.
Right.
That's where the actual problem comes in.
Yep. Joe's only a couple more verses, right?
Yeah,
all right, now you're going to come with the ham. Go ahead.
And I get a stain on mine own age and make it abominable.
Yep.
For through the present time I should be delivered from
right, and nowadays no one keeps integrity. No one thinks about how they stain their name. They just think about the here and now. How much money they're gonna end up losing. How much, you know, the house that they lose, right? Everybody turning on them. Their wife turning on them. Their kids turning on them, right? Go ahead.
You saw it over again.
Look how quickly D Wade conformed to everything. With his with his son-in-law. He conformed to all that. So, you know, praising that, you know, abomination, right?
Now his wife wants to try to pursue him.
Yeah.
I guess legally, I don't know the whole situation because what he was doing was considered child abuse. But you knew that already.
Yeah.
You knew that when you were benefiting from all the money that was coming in. Now all of a sudden you upset.
But think about it. They got the thing Mambula. I'm sorry. Mambula. They're already pushing it in the system. Man Boy Love Association,
right.
and all these other acronyms. So they're making sure you break the law.
Yep, that's right. Right, go ahead.
Verse 26.
Yeah, that's why they're teaching your children now openly. They're teaching your children to accept these different perversions.
Oh, and I do want to admit, or I do want to say, so see, you know how it said, listen, we're going to give you flesh that's of your own, but just show them. You know that a lot of these rappers that sing about this drugs, sex, alcohol, and all this wickedness, they ain't doing that. They ain't even showing their kids that. Nope. They're just feeding it to you. They say, listen, as long as you do this, you'll be good. You know, you'll get your money. You can do what you want with it, but you need to release this and do this. All right? They know that. So they'll prevent their, you know, their offspring from hearing it, or they won't actually do those things. They won't actually be killers and thugs and all that. They're just trying to make the money, but they just know, hey, listen, as long as I push it on these people, I got to benefit from it. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting that benefit. That's how Esau has been using us to, you know, to keep us down. Go ahead.
Verse 26. For though the
But that's
present
why,
time,
bro. That's why I'm gonna say this. That's why you better not get involved. Because how you supposed to keep your children from that? Yet here it is.
Yeah.
They see you doing that.
Yep.
They're gonna be naturally looking up to you. They get children.
Yep.
They're gonna want to do what daddy does. They're gonna want to do what mommy does. That's why you gotta have morals. You gotta have scruples. You know. But the majority of our people don't. You know, they're playing their lot. They're fulfilling their role.
That's right. Go ahead.
verse 26. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty.
There you go. Read that again. That's so important to know. Go ahead. Read that again.
Verse 26. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men,
I should be delivered from the punishment of men. Go ahead.
yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty.
But he's not going to escape the hand of the Almighty. And that's the one that's the one that we have to make sure that we are staying true to.
He's the one that we gotta please.
Exactly. So the judgment, remember, the judgment always comes forth from the Most High. All judgment comes forth, and the fiercest judgment is going to come from the Most High. Go ahead.
Neither alive nor dead.
There you go.
Verse 27. Wherefore now manfully changing this life, I will shew myself such as one as mine age requireth.
There you go. He's going to show what his age required. He's 90 years old. He's going to show his age being, being that of a godly man, a God-fearing man. Go ahead.
Verse 28. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honor.
There you go.
No.
There you go. So he lived his whole life. He can even live it a little longer. He's given enough courage to the young men to say, hey, listen, you know, if an old man his age can do it, surely I can do it, right? And that's what Esau doesn't want us to do, man. He does not want us to. That's why he's doing all that damage control is happening to Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, Colin Kaepernick, right? All these guys, right? And like I said, I had my, I said what I said last week about, fuck them guys, like, all the BS, and it's all set up. I get that, but there's a reason why you had a question of why is there all this damage control? Now here, I'm here in the spirit saying, listen, we got to be like this man Eliezer. When you come into this thing, you got to be willing to put your life on the line, because that's what it's going to come down to.
Get that
especially,
precept.
Yep. What's that?
Get that
Yep.
precept.
Especially at the end when that CHIP gets implemented.
He that findeth this life
Shall lose it. Yep.
Get the precepts.
Go ahead, finish that off, and then I want this brother.
This is the last verse right here.
I know, like I said, I know I said it a lot, but you see how all that is, that's all happening today. It's been happening back then, all right? It's all by design, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when you layer it like that. When you layer it and you see it for what it really is, it's beautiful because we know that this is Esau's poorest attempt and saddest attempt to basically keep us down. And it's like so obvious that it makes it so how much we are in the last days. Like we can really see we're in the last days just by this poor attempt to try to keep us down. It says that because he knows that he has but a short time, right?
I got a preacher for you, bro.
Go ahead, read that.
28. This is the last verse. And leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly,
Yep.
courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the tournament.
Damn. Immediately. You let him speak on that, and he said, all right. You gotta read that again? Immediately what?
Went to the tournament.
Immediately went to the tournament. They killed him, man. Oh, but there's more to that, right?
This is a lot more.
A lot more? All right. Anyways, we won't gotta read it. Basically, you can read it for yourself.
So he essentially became immortal.
Exactly. And when
He
you read,
became immortal.
when you read down to the end, it basically says that they actually put him up as a memorial, and he was a memorial onto that moment. And we're still bringing this man out to this very day.
Let me get that verse.
Yeah. I think it's at the very end.
Verse
or something.
31.
Yeah.
And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage
Yep.
and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to be, man. We don't listen. If we come into we ain't trying to be persuaded by any amount of money. If we have a little bit of something, and we have a little bit of substance, a lot of us came from nothing and got a little bit of substance. We ain't afraid to lose it. All right. That's why it says.
Let's get these precepts for the brother. Everything he's saying is a precept for him.
And we're gonna come through. I'm gonna hit all these precepts up too. So, but so the thing is like you know, that's how we're supposed to be. You know, your Kyries and your Kanye's like, yeah, they're gonna say some things, they're gonna provoke some thought, but at the end of the day, you know, they ain't gonna.
What's gonna lead them to us?
Yep.
It's gonna lead them to us.
Yep.
Because now that questions are out there.
Yep.
Who the real biblical Hebrew Israelites?
Yep.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
Like the meme I sent out, the meme, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
One breath, the Ish people are denying that they control and
Yep.
regulate everything. While literally controlling and regulating everything.
Yep.
Kanye West being the example.
Yep. And it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy because like when you see, we all see
Kyrie
it.
Irving suspended his Nike deals. Okay, so you either do or you don't. But you're saying you don't, but yet you're doing the very same things that you're being accused of that you're trying to deny. Tactics of the devil.
Yep.
Tactics of the devil, Akim.
Yep.
Tactics of the devil.
There you go.
And you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yep.
You can't go and apologize. Oh, they go get yours back. Just like Nick Cannon's a prime example.
Right.
He went out and he apologized and they gave him back his show.
Right.
If I gotta preach that. It's just to get a little.
All right, read that, and then we starting here.
So I can, it says Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death.
There it is.
And the Lord shall fight for thee.
There it is. Strive for the truth on the death. And that when you strive for the truth on the death, remember you gotta keep that in your memory banks at all times that this is on to death. All right. Every attempt that you make to push this word is on to death.
Wait, what's more important to you? What's more valuable
Nothing in this damn kingdom. That's for sure.
Living a lie. Hold on. Living a lie.
Yep.
Right? Living a lie. That's why Eleazar didn't want to conform.
Yep.
He knew it was a lie. And he would have been part of perpetuating a lie.
Yep.
He would have been responsible
Yep.
for perpetuating that lie. So what's more honorable? So it all comes down to how much you value this truth. You know? Now we know that there are certain men here that won't die. That shall not taste of death.
That's it.
But death should not hinder you from keeping your integrity.
That's right.
That's the point.
Yep. Especially knowing that the Most High has given us that
Most High
mercy.
got the power.
Well, yeah, but the Most
Over.
High has given us mercy, right? So when you realize that you were given that mercy, and we did all that manners of wickedness, you know, in our ignorance, and we have given that mercy, listen. Now being returned, seek Him, 10 times more. We gotta, now that we had that, we were given that mercy, and we understand the law, statutes, and commandments. But yeah, we gotta
learn to stand for something.
Yep.
Understanding.
Right? Learn to stand for something.
There you go. Go ahead, Doc.
Nah, we're about to switch out.
And if
I'm gonna probably
anything,
speak.
for the truth, right?
This is, Ham, Anonymous Compact Bible Dictionary. Right there, since we were talking last week too. Ham is the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor or the father of the dark races. Ham says not the Negroes. The Negroes is starting with so-called black men in America, and then down to Benjamin, Levi, and all the rest of the tribes. All right, not the Negroes. So the Negroes are not of the father Ham. All right, we come from the father Shem. All right?
Esau really built up, Esau and the nations really built up a whole mass of lies on just that alone. It's important to bring that out because once you realize that that itself is a lie, because remember, where does our history start? Our history starts in Africa, and we were taken through the slave ships, and we were just Africans. That's all we are, right? African Americans now because we dwell in America, right? So that one lie, he was able to wipe out all the history before how we even got to Africa, right? So he says, listen, y'all the same people as Africans. But the brother just read is that we're not the same as Ham. We're not the same as the African people. All right, we are a different sect of people. All right, that come from the Shemites. All right, or that come from Shem, I should say. All right. So once you dispel that one lie that has our whole history built on that one lie, all right, you can start to kind of go into, okay, well, if we're not African, where did our history start? Where did we actually come from? Then you realize that we actually dwelled in the land of Israel. And we fled into the interiors of Africa. Then you can get into all that, all right? And then that's how you see that, our history is so much more than just the slave trade. All right.
And we're actually Shemites.
And we're actually Shemites, right?
Yeah, what that dude said.
Yep.
We come of the line of Shem.
And that's one of the most important lies to dispel to start to
Everybody descended from somebody.
Yep.
Right? We understand that the whole circumference of the earth was flooded due to the wrath and judgment of the Heavenly Father.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
But the Lord preserved in him 8 souls.
Yep. Saving 8 souls. Yep.
Okay? Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives. And through those lines, you had a repopulation of the earth. So Ham, all right, was one nation in their respective tribes. Shem was a tribe in their respective tribes. And Japheth.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so we're not Ham, that's what the brother read. We're not Japheth, all right, which are the Aborigines of Australia, the Polynesians. Okay? Islander, Pacificus, right? We are Shem. So they're not going to stop, okay? Because we know, one of y'all brothers said the prince of the power of the air. The main medium he uses to bewitch people is the media. So they're going to continue to perpetuate that for as long as they can to continue that covering cast. Although, by and large, it's being broken every day. Because it's a made-up word. And it has no bearing. It's not rooted in anything sound or truthful. It's just a shaming tactic. And it's being exposed to be exactly that. So the brother read that.
Yeah, whatever precepts you got, we'll actually start on this end and we'll work our way down. Any prevalent precepts, it can be from before or anything I said from the passage.
Giving up worldly possessions to be in a mindset of continually, pleasing Yahweh Shemiah Shai, which requires sacrifice.
Sorry?
You got 2 Timothy, you got Romans 12, right?
Go ahead, brother.
To reinforce that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 6. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place.
Mm-hmm. And that rich sitting in a low place, that's us, right? That's us being the rich, right? Yeah. Sitting in a low place. We're sitting at the bottom.
Right. Monetarily,
Yep.
We might not be established as celebrities, but we're rich because we have the knowledge.
Yeah, the faith.
That's the real wealth.
That's right.
Wisdom is likened on to what? A treasure.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the real genuine wealth.
Yep.
It's through this wisdom that we have found our way back to the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
To worship it, to honor Him, to praise Him, to do what we need to do as His people, all right? To continue to be acceptable in His sight. Pursuing the faith.
Yep.
Pursuing the faith.
Yep.
In our power, which is Yahweh, the Heavenly Father's name. Okay, Bahashim, meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai, the only begotten of the Father that sitteth at the right hand. That's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh's name means He exists. Yahweh, all right, Yah is He. Hawa exists, for He to be. All things are for Him and by Him. Okay? Everything cometh of the Father.
Yep.
According to His purpose. Yahweh Shai, Yah is He. Yahweh Shai is deliverer. He the deliverer, or He is the deliverer. The deliverer of who? The Israelites. Who are the Israelites? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled bird Israelites, who do not look like traditional Israelites, but are scattered amongst all the nations who are in these last times going to come back onto the fold, going to come back onto their heritage as being the Lord's people. So folly has been set in great dignity. That's why things that you see just make you shake your head, but they've been popularized.
Yep.
Okay? Speaking the truth is not popular. Doing some bullshit prank that can get you killed, that's what gets likes, that's what gets views, that's what's honorable in this wicked kingdom. And there are plenty more examples.
Yep. Plenty more. Yep. That's what goes to the cover of the
That's what's held in high esteem.
That's what gets put to the cover of the YouTube algorithm 4 page, front page. Right. That's what the algorithm decides to put up to the 4 page.
The more unreasonable you are, the more ridiculous you are. All right.
Yep.
The more savage you are. Yep. The more beast-like you are, the more you get notoriety.
Exactly.
This kingdom is totally off, man.
Yep.
I'm sorry. They always say I'm in demon time.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, demon mode.
That shit got on my nerves. The demon at my job said that to me. I said,
You said you were demons?
Right. You see a lot of people.
That's what he's saying.
I seen a lot of people with the bumper stickers of being wicked. I don't know if y'all ever seen that. Too wicked. People. Yeah.
from.
Jake's too. Jake's been
Yeah.
doing that. Too
Yeah.
wicked.
They don't understand.
You're speaking about counting the cost. When you come to serve the Lord, they're going to take things away from you. So you look at the men of old, when they stood up for truth, what happened to them? Hebrews 11, verse 36. And others had trials of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, the bonds of
Mockings and
imprisonment.
scourges. Yep, go ahead.
Verse 37, they were stoned, they were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword.
Yep.
They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute and afflicted and tormented.
Look at that, man. We consider that. We consider all that hell that they caught being destitute, man. We consider that when we come into this thing. And, you know, a lot of these guys up in the upper top echelons and stuff that you know, start to speak against the grain, they start to lose that. They start to get the persecution, and they don't want no parts of it, you know? They say, you know what? You know, it wasn't worth losing everything I had. Go ahead.
Verse 38, of whom the world was not worthy, they wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens in the caves of the earth.
There you go. And that's going to be us, man. Well, I mean, it's kind of us right now, but in a greater sense, when those end prophecies, the CHIP comes out, we're really going to be, you know, downtrodden, and you're not going to be able to really find us like that.
If I may say,
Go ahead.
it happened to our prophets back then. Those are
Exactly,
prime examples. Elijah, John the Baptist,
Yep.
they all experienced those moments. Stephen,
Yep.
and Stephen got stoned because he was speaking the words. So it's these things is bound to come our way. I'm sorry.
Head's chopped off. Yeah, go.
That was
You
it. That was
want
it.
to make a point on that, or?
Yeah, because Kanye West and all the rest of the athletes and the men that's dressed in soft raiment, they spent their whole life attaining worldly riches, and then soon they get taken away, they no longer stand up for the truth.
And you know who's a good example of that? When the man was like, hey, you know, the man came to Yahushua and was like, hey, listen, of everything I've done, I've done it all. You know, he's like, but you know, basically sell your treasures, and that's when he's like, well, I don't really know if I can do that.
You want an eternal life.
Yeah. So and these men are just wicked, right? They didn't live themselves a godly life. You know, they didn't live in the commandments, right? So it's even so much harder for even them to sell off their riches, right? Or to give up, or to be willing to lose their riches, right? Or their place of power, right? Their place of establishment.
Right. Well, that's why you got Kanye, whatever you want to call this guy. He's speaking covertly when he says there are people in my world who can't speak about these things. What he's saying is they're bound by contracts.
Yep.
Now he's bound by contracts, but he said that they can kill me for this. So he basically saying he don't really care.
Right.
In a larger sense, he really don't care.
Yep.
You know, whether we can speculate whether he's still juiced in or he's baking from the Matrix. Hey, we gonna wait to see how this all plays out.
Yep.
Ultimately, what you can gather from what's been going on is people are talking, and people are gonna have questions. Questions to which these people can't fully answer. And that's where we're going to come into play. We're going to be able to answer the questions because we are actually the prophets. Right. They're not the prophets. That's not their lot. That's not their designation.
And there's a saying in the world, being too big for your britches. And what happened with Kanye West is he thinks just because he's a billionaire that he can say the things that he's saying. They're going to show him otherwise.
Yep.
Right?
Well, that's what he said about Adidas. Adidas can't drop me.
They dropped it.
And they drop
And here's the thing too. So like, I said it before about they said about Kyrie Irving starting his own NBA league. It ain't gonna happen, right? And I brought the net neutrality. YouTube is owned by Google, right? So anything, Instagram, right? Twitter, all that's owned by like the higher elites. You can make your own platform, but how does that platform get on the internet? It gets on there by internet providers, right? That net neutrality is literally allows what goes on the internet. So you can't. First off, none of these people on this sign can create their own online internet network, all right? Listen, for us, let's just say I wanted to. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to start my own online network. I'm going to let brothers connect to it, and they're going to be able to create their own platform and upload to it. First off, I had to buy a plot of land to even put cell towers up and internet towers to do that. You think Esau's just going to let me do that? He owns this land. I'm going to ask for a contract, all right? Yeah, you have to have all kinds of resources, all that stuff.
Anytime Jake or the tribes, anytime Jake ever tried to get their own, right, and break away from the system, this man's come after them.
Exactly.
Black Wall Street is a perfect example.
Exactly. So my thing, so that's
And that's
my,
the wrong mentality anyway.
That's what,
wrong
and
mentality.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basically saying.
You're trying to
You
fit
know?
within the confines of your captivity and try to still be successful.
You ain't gonna
and
do. It ain't
wealthy.
gonna happen. Yep. It ain't gonna happen.
So they're not fully broken out of the matrix yet.
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
they're still logged in.
Yeah, that's why we're coming out the book. That's why we're coming out the Holy Scriptures, and that's why I say that angle. But at the end of the day, this is the real way we got to come out. You know, we can't do what these other guys are doing, and even to try to follow that mindset, it's BS because you can't follow that. First off, the Lord's going to shut it down. Because that's not the way of the Lord. That's not the way the Lord had allowed things to happen. We ain't gonna.
Well, you can build it up, but it's going. They can kill you.
Yeah.
They can assassinate you.
But
At a certain level,
Buy
you
you
can still build stuff, but like if you try to go like to the very top, you have to have meetings with Satan, and you have to bend over and take up your ass.
And
You can't just like start your own internet service provider that's like has millions and millions and millions of users, and you somebody on that side, and you're successful without having to meet with a little hat guy. You're gonna have to do that.
First off, the whole government, right? The whole
And then
government
you got
body.
too much competition.
Yeah, the whole government body.
Yeah, when you do that, Salaki, brother, just to land back really quick.
Jeff Bezos.
When you do that, you make yourself a target.
Yeah.
You make yourself a target.
High value target.
Yep. And I just want to say
A
the
lot
whole.
of times,
Sorry,
y'all-
sorry.
This has to be said. More often than not, our people are worth more dead than they are alive. You understand that?
That's right. And they never forgot Bill Cosby for trying to buy CBS. That's like it.
Right, no,
They
that's
never
true.
forgave him. They never forgave him for trying to do that.
Right.
That's like it.
No, I was just gonna say.
He had enough pull to get out because they were railroading them and they did illegal shit. So it came through and he got out.
Yep.
And I was just gonna say like a lot of things about like buying a plot of land and all that. It comes from government officials. It comes from high ups like senators and politics. Now who are we voting to put into these politics? Not people that know any damn thing. But we had that damn rally last week. As if those people that you're Ben Shapiro and all them guys.
That was a little hat. That was a little
It's
hat.
not Ben Shapiro.
Oh, who's it?
His name is Benjamin.
Not Ben
Whatever the hell is it?
His last name is Shapiro.
Something
and then
Shapiro.
John Fetterman.
Yeah. Well, and the point is, it don't matter who you put it.
Going for U.S. Senate.
Yeah. You ain't putting any real people in there that's actually trying to, promote our people into that. And you wouldn't even be able. You wouldn't be able to fund a whole what you could say, like basically fund a whole what the hell is that called? Campaign. You wouldn't be able to fund a whole campaign to get someone in there.
Well, the reason why is because we're a religious group.
Mm-hmm.
With Kanye West and Irvin, they're not religious. They just speak about certain things that have to do with faith and religion. They're not really religious. So we're really religious. So if we were to start something like that, which we couldn't, it would be focusing on just blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. We would automatically exclude the so-called white man. We exclude him. We exclude the Arabs. We exclude the East Indians and all of them. And Esau wouldn't allow that to happen.
And why is that?
They would start calling us racist
Exactly.
and anti-this, anti-that.
That's a hate crime. And it's all breaking the laws that they set up. All these people that are in power set up laws that now you can no longer attain that. Now, like I said, what was the main family that created nothing but lies to get their power? Well, there's a lot of Esau in a whole did that, but who did that in a grand scheme?
Yeah, little hats. God's
Yep.
little hats.
The Borgia family, right? The Borgia family was one of the biggest crime families of this nation that lied its way into power.
And
That
remember,
killed.
the Catholics
Yep,
wear
yep,
the
yep,
little
yep.
hats just like the little hat guys.
So they set themselves in power, right, and got themselves so big and was able to continue that power through generations and millennials of generations, right? So now that they're in power,
Salakia, the Borgia family was known as the first crime family.
exactly, yep. So now they're so high up that like even if you put one or two guys in office that knew something, they're getting killed and kicked right out of there. So all that BS ain't gonna happen. We're just coming with the truth and what really will happen and what's gonna happen through Yahweh Shema Shah.
You get Thessalonians sitting and see that God. Go ahead. Right.
Oh yeah.
Through prophecy, and the book speaks. We gotta speak with the book.
Yep.
I got a precept for you. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy work and tribulation and poverty.
Yep, I know that, and we were going into the tribulation that we were going through, right?
Yep.
The Lord knows that. Go ahead. He
But
knows
thou-
the work and labor and love we do. Go ahead.
But thou art rich, and I know the blaspheme of them which say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan.
Right, and you have, and that's talking first and foremost about our people, man. It's talking about our people that say they are Jews and are not. And a good example would be Kanye and Kyrie, because they are saying that hey, listen, basically what they're saying when they say I can't be anti-Semitic once I know who I am.
Where they get that from, though, too?
Yeah, what he's saying there is saying I am of Sem, I am a Jew. It's basically what he's saying. He don't want to say it, but he's saying I am a Jew.
Because he got to water it down.
Yeah, he's got to.
Because he's like a secret disciple. Let's say that.
Yep.
The secret disciple, they're not going to be teaching on the street. They're not going to be like highly religious like we are. They're going to be like peripheral, standing around, kind of. They're like dignitaries or whatever. They're not going to be on the street teaching. You was mentioning that earlier.
Yep.
So they're not held to the same standard that we're held to.
That's right.
All right, they can get away with certain stuff. They can apologize and all that shit.
Right.
But really what he should have did, he should have just said it in code. You know, that's what I would have did. If I was in the NBA, I would have said it in code. I wouldn't have said it all like that, because he already knows that the little hats control everything. He didn't have to see a movie to know that.
Right. Well, that's why he,
you know, he hadn't had to watch a documentary about the little hats. So he already knew. So when he got to the NBA, who was shaking hands with? Who was there watching him shoot the basketball? The guys with the little hats.
Right. Well, that's
they
why
didn't have the little hats on. They
That's
was
why he
hiding.
spun it around. He kept pressing him. All right, and it was a black dude that kept pressing him. You want to walk that statement back? You want to walk that statement? Well, whatever. And then he caught him too. Because he said some shit. They said, you don't want to walk that statement back? But what happened was, they kept asking him about the remarks he was making. He goes, it's funny because actually, I didn't know I could be anti, you know what? Based upon the definition of it. I didn't know that. You know, but then he read the definition for you, and he was covertly telling you, basically, according to their terms, yeah, he would be that, but it really don't exist because it's made the hell up.
Right. We're Shem.
And then he proceeded and followed it up by saying, look at all the executives that are these people who you claim I'm against, and who claim that are not rulers and running these things.
Right. They're all got the little.
So he did do
hats,
it,
but they don't wear them.
He did say basically, spun it back and put it back to them,
And those
Gave
dudes,
it back to him,
and those dudes that run everything, to say them, guys with the little hat, they're not even religious.
Right.
They about money. They worship money anyway.
Right. And it was in
They don't go to synagogue and all that.
Right. There was that ish executive, a music executive that was on Breakfast Club. Right?
Jimmy Iovine, something?
I forget his name.
Jimmy Iovine.
Oh, he a little hat.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and he was basically Charlemagne was saying, don't you think that's hypocritical? Because he was saying, you allow these different things to be said about black people, black crime and stuff. I don't know how recent it is. I don't know how recent.
That's like a month ago, maybe.
Right.
And he was on the show before.
He basically said, well, look, I got kids, I got mouths to feed, so he was justifying that. But it's unjustifiable for an Israelite to claim that they're a Jew. That they're a Jew.
Or Black American, Latino, Native American.
I'm just bringing that out because Kanye was making that statement too. It's all right for us to talk this way. Dave Chappelle brought that out. It's okay. I say nigga all the time and this and that. But I can't focus on this. I can't say this. I can't
you
have
say
an
anything
opinion on
about them, they start whining. You got a question?
Well, I just want to know if you brothers had any pamphlets or anything like that.
No, we got YouTube.
No, yeah, we got YouTube.
What's the channel?
It's just put Plaintables. It should come straight up. GMS Plaintables. Plain.
You said GMS?
Yeah, GMS. GMS, and you put Plain, Plain, Table. Plaintables should just
It
come
wasn't
straight
Jimmy
up.
Iovine, it was Liar Cohen.
Okay. But he's a small hat. Yeah. Con.
He has a lot of celebrities under his belt. A lot of celebrities that's in there. And recently, over 600 rappers died.
Right.
And they had life insurance policies on it.
Exactly.
So everything's revealing. And this is the year of the turn.
We've been here every Saturday.
Every Saturday, same time?
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah. So
I'll check you brothers out.
If you don't catch us here, check us out at 10th and Market. If we're not here, you come buy us something, you don't see us here, we'll be at 10th and Market. All right, cool. I appreciate that.
All right. And that's what's been happening. A lot of
I know. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. What they say?
What's up?
No, that was weeks ago. I'm gonna keep bringing that up. They're doing a comment board talking about while we've been we out in the woods.
It's a scoffer.
Yeah, I know. I just like to bring it up, you know.
No, that's a good point though. That's a good point. That proves that guy's what he was saying has
Wait.
no weight.
Yeah. But it's like, go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10.
You all got precepts over here? I know there's a lot said. So you might even have multiple precepts. So
Yeah, cut. Fear none.
Yeah, you want to switch up? Go your phone. Your phone.
Fear none of those things. Fear none of those things which thou should suffer. Behold, the devil should cast some of you into prisons, and that's something that we have to be prepared for. And these celebrities are not prepared to give up what their goods, and nor are they ready to go to prison. For that doctor, whoever made that to Kanye, talking about we're gonna sedate you and I mean that's like a form of prison. He's not ready. He's not ready for that. That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right. So yeah, you have to be faithful. You know, if he really converted and said, well, you can't put me to death in the name of Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. You know, you ain't gonna ever say that. You know, but if he said that, the Lord might even protect him. Yeah. Right. And if the Lord can make him a martyr, and that can convert other people. So the Lord, Yahweh Shai, can do whatever he wants. You don't have to just because you say the name of the Lord, don't gotta keep you alive. You know.
But I truly believe that if even like Nick Cannon, if he would have stood his ground, the Lord would have fought for him. I truly believe that. But he worships Satan. That's why what we do, the Lord is got a barrier around us. Because all the time they took our videos off, we were still, it's 2022 and the videos you still can't stop the truth, man.
They're all in the secret club. You mean about the secret council of the wicked?
Psalm 64.
You know what George? Go get through this. Go through that.
This Matthew 10 and 28, it says, fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
Right, yeah, so you gotta believe who has the more power. That's right. All right, and if you're not filled with the Holy Spirit, then you're gonna fear what man can do instead of what the Most High, Yahweh Shai, can do. Right?
Yeah, and that's an example how, you know, Kyrie and Kanye, you know, they basically turned back, or, you know, basically apologized after, you know, the small hats told them to. You know, and then Apostle DeHart said, who knows, like maybe they could have threatened Kyrie's family, you know, behind the scenes. So, you know, that shows that he fears men, you know, Esau more than he fears the Lord.
Right, and again, he's not really that religious.
Yeah.
So if you do that to me, I'm gonna go right to social media and then put the information out there exactly. So he should have cameras all over his house. He should have different recording devices, means to copy, to cut clip like emails or whatever and all that, and just expose it. If he's really in the faith, that's what you do. You expose it. You just don't run and hide and be scared by yourself. You just expose it to the public. So he said, well, somebody threatened to kill me if I try to change what I believe. And then go over what you believe. It's simple. Right. You know, but they're not really fully in. They're lukewarm. All right. And again, if you were a dignitary, you don't have to come out openly about it, unless you just want to. You can just be like more covert. You know. More.
Yeah. It says, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
There you go. So you gotta fear Yahweh Shai, because this country, Babylon, America, is going to be destroyed eventually. So you're not going to take none of your riches with you.